Okay, so you were playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare last time that you streamed?
Yeah, that's the last time I streamed.
Oh my god, how long has that been?
I think the last stream I had was probably November. So it's been a while.
Okay.
Yeah, I went hard and got affiliate and then kind of took a break because I was going too hard and like
What?
it was
Okay, there's
impacting-
no such thing as maybe there is
Trust
such a thing
me.
as
Like I have my 40-hour job, you know, doing the freelance shit with IGN, and that was like in the holiday time when I was just going extra hard with like news and features, and then trying to stream 4 to 5 times a week, like, and go to the gym. My my mental health was just suffering, so I was like, I'm gonna step back for a second, try and reevaluate what I want to do. So I still want to get back to streaming, but it's like lower on the totem pole right now for me.
Yeah, for sure. I understand that. See, Tibble says Matt the Waddler.
Come on, guys. I damn it, I don't know what to do. I feel like if I could capitalize the like A in my last name, maybe that would make it easier.
I think, well, you can on Twitch now. They made it so you can change like little things if you want instead of changing like your whole thing.
Yeah. On Twitch, I'm good, but I mean for Twitter just I don't think they do caps or like caps lock or caps sensitive, case sensitive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so now that we know that you are not Matt the Waddler, which is going to keep coming up, would you like to tell us about yourself, like a little bit about yourself, to introduce yourself? I know you kind of already explained that you are a freelance writer for IGN.
Yep. Yeah. So my name's Matt. I currently I work a retail job for like my regular stuff, and then freelancing with IGN. I've been doing that for a little over a year now, which has been very, very cool. I do features, I do news, just recently did previews, which was really cool at PAX East. So it's been a very cool opportunity. Prior to that, I was doing a podcast, which I had probably about 50 episodes or so recorded. It was a weekly, just general gaming show that I would have guests on. It would be like topical news and stuff, and then kind of just chatting about the industry itself. That I found extremely difficult to do because I never had a consistent second host, so I was always having to like find people and craft my show around that each week, which lent for a lot of anxiety, and I just was not feeling that. So that's why I moved into streaming for like 3 months and then took a break from that too. So long story short, I don't really know what I want to do in the industry besides writing right now, but I'm happy doing that. So
yeah, well, I mean, you're good at it. I don't know if you guys read his Ghostrunner preview, which I have been talking about all the time.
Oh I've been telling everybody at work about it. I'm like,
I know.
You guys need to play this game now, but you know, obviously no one can. So
yeah. Okay, so I guess diving right into it then, I wanted to talk about our PAX experience because there were so many different things that stood out to me. I didn't realize there was such a big hub for indie games, and that was really cool to see. And for me, it was very different. Like, I don't know, have you gone to conventions before, kind of just as like a fan instead of someone from the industry?
No, this is my second convention. The first one I went to was E3 last year. I went as media with a different website that I was writing for at the time. And that was my first like con experience ever, which was overwhelming, but also extremely cool. So PAX was my second one. Obviously, this time going with IGN was a different experience, but also very exciting. And yeah, I was blown away by the indie game focus there. That's been like my favorite genre of games for years now, just because I feel indie games are really like pushing the boundary where a lot of AAA publishers are like afraid to make big moves because they've got investors to please. And I feel like indie games are really, they started out with like kind of recrafting those retro games, and then they've moved into just these incredible experiences that you've seen everything that we saw at PAX, like Ghostrunner even. I mean, that's an indie game from a very small studio that looks like a AAA polished game that you're like, where did these guys come from, right?
Yeah. Okay, so Tiny Build. Yes. I really just want to talk about the Tiny Build booth too, because like it's such a unique experience. So what happened was when you walk into Tiny Build, they have this like little tent area, and then they have a bunch of other like little tiny booths where they show off various different games that they're working on. There was one that looked like Dead Space that had a baby with Dark Souls, and that's what Matt and I played. And unfortunately, we couldn't get capture for it, but I really would like to get capture for it eventually. But they want like a more sturdy build for it before they show it to the public. So we went to go play that. They're like, yeah, sure, come into this tent, which isn't creepy at all. So we went into the tent, put all of our stuff down, and then there were two, what is the plural of masseuses?
Masusai. I think it's just masseuses.
Yeah. And they had to sit down in these chairs that, I don't know, like if you guys have ever had a massage, but like they had you lean forward in this chair, you know, your legs tucked in under you, and they handed us controllers and we just started playing the game.
Yeah, it was definitely like a surreal experience. As somebody who does not get massages, one, that was awesome. I was very like too relaxed the first time that I had my demo. Like their executive creative director or whatever of the studio was like trying to chat me up and ask me all these questions and like what I thought about the game, and I was just like like I couldn't formulate my thoughts.
Yeah. Like, oh, just a little up. Yep. Okay, perfect. Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never gotten a professional massage either, but I mean, it wasn't a terrible experience. It definitely was just very distracting. And we had another gaming appointment after, and I was just like, I just want to stay here forever.
Yeah, very much so. And they definitely had some cool games to show off. There's a twin stick shooter, and I'm forgetting the name already, but it was like a top-down pixel art twin stick shooter that you like were moving from like island to island. You're like these islands in the sky. Kind of reminded me of Xenoblade Chronicles.
Ooh,
they have like
okay.
those but it wasn't an RPG or anything. It was just like a roguelike kind of top-down shooter, but all these like islands in the sky, and you're like traversing between them, and you've got like a ship, and there's like ship combat and maneuvering and different guns, and it was cool. And then the other one I played was that the one that you just mentioned. What was it? Hell something?
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it. I was way too relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that was a great game to play when you're getting a massage, because you're like on the verge of wanting to rage quit, and then you're like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah,
good.
how can you rage quit when you're getting massaged? All of your tension is getting worked out of your body.
Yeah.
Also, Tibble comments, oh, they made totally reliable delivery service,
Yes,
and they did.
they did.
I love that. I want to play it so badly because it looks so
Yeah.
derpy and so cute.
That's coming out like soon, within the next couple weeks, I want to say.
Really? Oh, thank
Yeah,
God.
wanna
I
say
can't
it's like
wait.
Oh, you know what? I think it comes out April 1st.
That's
and they
right,
Did
'cause-
that intentionally. And they also said there's going to be something exciting happening on April 1st. So stay tuned for that.
Ooh, okay.
They kind of alluded to it being, oh, fans are going to think this is a joke, but it's not.
Oh,
But
God.
It's on April 1st. We did that on purpose, so.
I feel like that's really smart because it's already like a super comedic game. So having
Yeah.
it come out on a date that people are like, oh, is that true? Is that real? They're probably pulling your leg.
Smart. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. Oh, also it's called Hellpoint.
Hellpoint,
Yeah.
that's it.
But
Yep.
it feels like Dead Space and Dark Souls
Yeah.
had a baby.
Yeah, it's definitely got like the jankiness of Dark Souls. Like it very much felt like it had a lot of jank, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. Obviously the build that we played was like kind of, I want to say like an early portion of the game, so we didn't get a good look at like any of the other areas, and I was getting lost. I also didn't have my glasses on because of the massage, so I
that's
couldn't
right.
see. And I just felt like I was going in circles, and like everything looked the same. But it was fun. It was
Yeah.
good, and it was co-op, which was very cool too, because I've never played like a Souls game co-op before, and that was nice. Kind of took a little bit of the pressure off when you're up against bigger bosses.
Yeah, so it had local co-op, which is great. I've never seen a Dark Souls game have that before, or any Souls game. So it's really cool. We actually played split screen and, you know,
Yeah.
kept getting lost, but it's fine.
Yeah, it ran well too. I thought it was good. Like it stayed up and everything, so it's cool.
Yeah, it was really funny at the end of that. The masseuse was like, "Oh yeah, I noticed you had some tension up in your shoulders. You got some stuff going on." And I'm like, "Yep." Like, we work in the industry. We always got stuff going on, you know?
Right? I feel like just not ever getting massages also is probably like not a good thing. That lady was probably like, what's
I know,
wrong
yeah.
with this man's shoulders?
Like, this is rock. What is this? And
Yeah.
because at one point she was using her elbow to really get in there, and I was
Yeah.
like, I am so sorry.
Yeah, she kept like making comments in my ear, and I was like, "You do you. Like this is. I don't know what's wrong with my back. But
Yeah, like
thank you."
yeah. It felt weird because I'm so used to like because I know with people who get massages regularly, they have to tip, and I was like, this feels weird. Like I know this
Yeah.
is like you're probably getting paid decently if you're working here at a booth all day, but you know, it's like that's a lot. That's a lot of tension you
Yeah.
have to work out of.
For
All
sure.
these gamers, man. We have
I'm sure
terrible
they got-
posture.
I'm sure they got paid pretty well
Yeah.
just to be there all day. But yeah, that was a very memorable. Anytime I see Tiny Build now, like I'm gonna think of that experience, and that's awesome. That's why they did that, right?
Yeah, I think they did a fantastic job just trying to stand out because there were so many indie booths. Like, I think they named the indie booth like pavilion area the what is it, indie mega booth?
The Indie Mega Booth, yeah.
Yeah,
They've
yeah.
got that. They have those at every PAX, and that's like where they feature all of the best indie games.
That's so cool. Yeah, so that was my first PAX East and seeing a huge collection of indie games. And they were all getting attention too. Like I was so used to anime conventions where you see a lot of indie stuff and it's like, not as interested, but then again, it's not a gaming convention.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was really cool. Okay, so let's talk about our favorite game.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah. And I have our gameplay footage of it that I'm just going to play
hell
in the
yeah.
background. So Ghostrunner, we have been talking about this nonstop and we finally get to talk about it.
Yes. All right.
So-
So this game, like, people were sleeping on this game at the convention. I feel like everybody I talk to, they're like, "What the hell's Ghostrunner?" Also, it's kind of a generic name, so I understand
it is,
that, but
absolutely.
God damn. Just look at this. Like the moment
It's so
I
gorgeous.
kept walking by and I was like, "That looks really good." And
Yeah.
one of my buddies there was like, "You got to play this game. It's incredible. It's like blending all these different genres together. It's got movement like Mirror's Edge or Titanfall. And
Yeah.
you're mixing this first-person sword combat, and it's got really insane kills like Doom." And I was like, "Okay, you had me at the first thing you said."
Yeah, I loved just the environment. It looks like Mirror's Edge. It's just super smooth. Like you feel very, for lack of better words, you feel tacky when you stick to the walls, and it feels so good.
Yeah.
Because like, which Call of Duty was it where they did wall running for the first time? It wasn't very good. I didn't like that.
Yeah. Advanced Warfare
I think so. Yeah.
or Infinite Warfare. It's whenever they
one
added
of those.
jetpacks
I don't
and
know.
they're
They're
just going to space. Yeah.
There are too many
That's when I give
warfares.
up.
Oh yeah. Also, a very important mechanic of the game is that you can slow down. Like you have different abilities. You can slow down while in midair or like on the ground by holding shift. Well, we played with keyboard and mouse, and you could like scoot to the side or like duck, and it's really cool because you're a cybernetic ninja. And even though you don't have a gun, you're still able to fight against these guys who are firing multiple blasts at you, which it got a little frustrating at some points, but
Yeah.
you know, it worked out.
I really like these kind of games. Like Tibble mentioned, it's like Super Hot, right? So it's like similar to that, where you've got instead of everything moving when you move, like everything's just moving all the time. But it is that like one hit kill type thing. So think like Hotline Miami, or the best way I can put it is this game is kind of like Katana Zero in first person, because that's already got like a ninja. You're already doing this kind of stuff where it's one hit kills, you die and you respawn at the beginning. But you start to develop muscle memory as you're playing, and things move so quickly that when you do die, you're like, okay, I know exactly what to do next time. I know where I'm going. You start to plan out like a route in your head. And I feel like there's a few different routes you can take in this demo that I've seen other people take. So I feel like this game's going to have a lot of replayability. You're going to be able to go through it in multiple ways. The developers mentioned that they're going to have the ability to like slice through bullets or deflect bullets back, which will create completely different gameplay strategy, right? So if you want to go through your first playthrough and just like dodge everything like you see in the video where you slow down time, you could play through it that way. And then once you get those other abilities, you can play completely differently, and that makes it a different game.
Yeah, it was so cool because at some points I'm like, oh, where do I go? But then I look, and all you have to do is look at the environment. You're like, I could totally wall run that, or I could totally jump that. And it's like, it totally worked. Also, I think there's a point here. Actually, if you look here, was it here? I don't remember. There was another part where you have to, when you first get your secondary skill, which is a grapple hook, and I actually ended up double jumping the spot, and the devs were like, "Oh, we didn't know you could do that."
Yeah, I asked them specifically. I was like, "Is this game gonna get a double jump later?" And
Yeah.
they're like, "That's funny that you say that. We actually tested it, and no, we found that people were getting like lost or getting to areas that they shouldn't get to." And I was like, "That makes sense."
But I love that. I love that so much, though.
I wanted it so badly, though. I was like, "This game just like this calls for a double jump so badly."
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's like up in this area here, but I think I didn't double jump, but I ended up somehow running, sliding, and jumping just because I was so used to Titanfall mechanics.
Yeah.
And I ended up making it without using my grapple, and they're like, "Huh, well, you can do that."
Like you just had really good momentum to make the jump.
So it was super. Oh, it was this one right here. Yeah, it was just super funny because I was like, "Oh, I guess I did it." Okay.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. They said that we will get other abilities as you go on in the game, which is really cool. I think in this demo you could actually slice the bullets as they come at you if you time it correctly. I think I did it a couple of times unintentionally.
Oh, hell yeah. Nice.
Yeah. But I'm so excited to watch people speed run the crap out of this game because it's I feel like it was built for that, because if it's a one-hit kill, like you could totally go for like a no kill run through, just go through it as fast as you can. But the only thing is you have to kill all of the enemies to progress into the next area.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what else, like in terms of environments and stuff, where they go with this, right? Because this is very much like a cyberpunky looking place, right? It's something that we've seen before. It's very familiar. It's like they're not really pushing the boundaries on the visuals in terms of like the actual environment. But they did say, like, basically the premise of this game is your society lives in like a tower, right? It's like post-apocalyptic, and everybody's kind of relegated to this tower. And as you move up through the tower, it's like the society is getting more and more wealthy. So like the rich people live at the top, the poor people live at the bottom. So as you move up, they're going to be more like extravagant environments. I want to see what those look like for sure. I know we got some screenshots up on the site that are exclusive that show some other areas. There's like some lava looking areas or something with like a lot of red. I couldn't quite tell where that was, but that definitely wasn't in our demo. But yeah, I'm stoked to see what they do and how they keep the gameplay fresh, because this was very fun for like a 15-minute demo, right? But I'm like, how long is this campaign going to be, and can they sustain my like joy of this mechanic? Because after a certain point, it's going to be like, okay, kind of over this, I want something different, right?
Yeah, I could totally see it being repetitive, but which I think I saw a few of our comments on IGN saying like, yeah, like this might get a little repetitive, but hopefully the different abilities you get in the game, that'll help keep it a little fresh. Especially with the new areas, maybe there'll be new jumping puzzles, stuff like that. So I'm really hoping that there'll be more variety to this, because I really want to enjoy it. Like I want to like it so much.
Me too. I'm definitely like tempering my expectations, because this is an indie studio, right? And looking at the previous games they've done, they're all like 2D pixel art, top down, like very, very like rudimentary, for lack of a better term, like graphics, right? This is like a huge departure from that. This is like a game that's going to support ray tracing right out of the gate. Oh, yeah. Somebody deflected a bullet on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, like this is a really ambitious project for them. So I understand that there's going to be probably some corners that get cut. Like these environments, they look really open, but they're surprisingly very linear, right? And I think that's kind of just a mental trick they play, because they don't have maybe the capability to make these environments much bigger or more open. So, I mean, with those little tricks in mind, like I'm very hopeful that they deliver on like what I want this game to be, but I'm also like remaining kind of cautious. Like, okay, this might just be a 3-hour game, right? This might just be a really short experience that's fun, but doesn't have like an incredible story or, you know, something else. So I'm crossing my fingers though.
Yeah, me too. Zen says what would be cool is if they added an ability where you could throw your sword and teleport to it. That'd be really cool.
That would be sick. Yeah. Ooh, I like that.
Then Karis says if you could have an option to create your own map and enemies with it, like Super Mario Maker, that would be really cool. I think Doom does that too, where you can make your own custom maps. That would actually be really cool, because this totally works like Doom. So if they could make community-based maps, I think this game could go beyond like its own retail game and it could do so much more because Doom has a very big following, and I feel like this has the potential, and I just want it.
Yeah, me too. I want to play more. Like, even if it's just the same demo, like I can't tell you how many times I've watched this video, and I don't get like obsessively weird about games like this. Like Cyberpunk 2077 is the game that I'm like most anticipated for, right, for this year.
Yeah.
I've wanted to play that game for so long. I think I've maybe watched like one of the developer walkthroughs from like 2 years ago, and that's it. Like,
Yeah.
Part of it is because I want to go into the game kind of fresh and not have everything spoiled, but I'm also not, I know I'm gonna play it. I'm excited for it, but I don't need to like obsessively watch stuff about it all the time, and that's fine if people enjoy doing that. That's totally cool. But this because like we played this and it was like such a short experience. I've watched this video like a number of times, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, I just want to play through it again.
Yeah. So do you think it has to do with the fact that maybe like we kind of expect Cyberpunk to be good because it's a big studio, and then this is like an indie game. We're just like, yes, we really want this to be good, like please, because this deserves recognition. Do you think it's that sort of thing?
I think it's definitely a mix of that. Yeah, I think they like having this style come out this year with another title that's going to be like arguably one of the best-selling games of the year, if not the best game of the year. It's a lot of pressure for them to live up to, and I think like in my head, I'm closing a lot of those like gaps of what I expect this game to be with like Cyberpunk gameplay that I've seen. So I don't know. I understand what this game is, and in terms of like it's a very linear experience where things are moving quickly and you're getting from point A to point B. There's probably not going to be this massive story. Like they kind of said they're going to deliver story beats like while you're playing, which I felt kind of distracted by. Were you like paying attention to any of that when you were actually playing?
Not really.
Yeah, I couldn't. I'm also like not good at multitasking, but that having something like talk to you while you're trying to like meticulously make your way through these enemies and like not get hit because you die. I was having trouble keeping up with what this like whisper person or whatever is saying, which is also why I've gone back to watch it because I'm like, is this even anything that I need to care about?
Yeah.
But I have a feeling the story's probably not going to be good in this. I think it's just going to be a fun game to play and maybe replay and watch people speedrun, but I don't think the story is going to be anything to write home about. But
Yeah.
we could be surprised.
I know. I'm trying to be optimistic, but at the same time, hold back a little. But
Yeah.
I love anything that has to do with the cyberpunk universe. So I'm very
100%.
excited because it kind of looks like Altered Carbon, with like the whole, the rich live on a different like surface area. And it's really cool. So I want to know, I think I'll probably pay attention to the story, but you're right. It was a little annoying to try and like read or listen while you're also like, oh God, I gotta avoid like 5 enemies at once.
Yeah.
So
maybe when I'm like at home and in my own environment and playing, I might be able to take it in more, but like at a convention where there's thousands of people around and like a developer breathing down your neck while you're playing,
God.
I'm like, I just want to like not look like an idiot while I'm playing this game too.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So
yeah, like I promise I'm a real gamer. I just died 5 times. Okay.
They like take the computer away. They're like, you're not worthy, sir.
I know.
You can't play here.
Yeah. So yeah, my one complaint was that we played on keyboard and mouse. The dev here is playing on controller. On controller, it looked a lot smoother than it played on keyboard and mouse, which I was like, hey, are you guys going to add sensitivity options? And they said, eventually, like, this was an early build. So I really hope they do that because I know that PC players would love this game so much.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and I'm like very new to using my PC, so I built a computer like, I don't know, 8 years ago was like my first computer that I built. So I missed a lot of like, like Portal when it came out. I played on PlayStation 4 when it came out there. So like I missed a lot of those like early, like these kind of games where you're maneuvering with like mouse keyboard.
Yeah.
So that's been something that I've learned over the past like 6 months to a year when I started using my newer computer more. So this movement for me, I was like, you know what? They're like, do you want to play mouse keyboard or controller? I was like, let's play mouse keyboard. Like, just throw me in the deep end. Let me figure it out.
God.
It feels really good though. And for somebody who like is not like adept at mouse and keyboard, I mean, I'm like, fine, I can get by, but I'm obviously more comfortable with controller. I was very excited to play this, and like the movement felt really good. Although, yeah, it was very oversensitive for sure.
Yeah.
But being that they're an indie team, I'm like, oh, are they gonna add that stuff actually, or is that gonna be like something that they maybe add in a patch down the road? So we'll see. But I mean, at the very least, the controller gameplay definitely looks very smooth.
Yeah. Zen says, imagine this game in multiplayer. That'd actually be very cool, but I don't know how that would work, because could you imagine like two ninjas going at each other and all of a sudden both of them slowing down?
That'd be sick. That'd be actually kind of cool.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, think about like, what's that game that's coming out? Shoot. It's in beta right now. It's like a third-person brawler from the guy from Ninja Theory. Shit, I'm losing. Damn it, I'm gonna look it up. Hold on.
I can't think about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Bleeding Edge.
That's right, Bleeding Edge. Yeah.
So
okay.
obviously that's third person and like a very different thing, but that's kind of the same. I mean, I could see that gameplay replicated with something like this, where you've got like a bunch of different characters having different abilities moving through like little arenas and stuff. But that'd be dope. Yeah,
that'd be really cool. So many ideas that I wish they would have for this game, but you know.
This is one of those projects that like I wish there was a big publisher that would pick it up and like help them like bring it to fruition and really like see its full potential through.
Seriously.
Not that the publisher that they're with isn't good. They are just a small team also. So it's like they're an indie publisher, which, you know, they only have as many resources and dollars as they have. So if this got picked up by like a Respawn or something, imagine like what they could help out with. I know they're like
so
more devs,
cool.
but but like have EA's money behind something like this, that'd be insane.
Yeah, God, that'd be so cool. Yeah, so we don't know when this is gonna come out. They said 2020. They said they were fairly confident about 2020, so that's good. They did say it'd be after Doom, so I was like, okay, that's good. So then let people get that out of their system.
Yeah, I mean, after Doom, that's like less than 2 weeks away. So if this like stealth launched before that, I would be extremely surprised. But I think it'll be. This feels like a fall/winter game.
Yeah, I can see myself just dedicating like a good week or something for this.
For sure. Yeah. This seems like a great game to play on stream too.
Oh yeah. Okay, so moving from a small game to a big game.
Big games.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the Fallout, like the Wastelanders update?
Ooh.
Yeah, actually, if you guys don't know what the Fallout Wastelanders update is, they're rolling out like a massive overhaul. Actually, Took says, could you guys periodically drop the name of this? Ghostrunner? Oh yeah, you don't even have to ask us for that. Like, we'll probably just talk about it in general. Yeah. Okay, anyways, back to Wastelanders. So I thought Wastelanders was I thought it was a separate game, you know, the one that kind of looks like Fallout. But I've realized, I think that's called Wasteland.
Oh,
but yeah,
yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So Fallout 76, I saw this. I think at PAX East, they had a Bethesda Game Day like booth area thing. I didn't get to look at it, but I didn't realize it was going to be this update where they overhauled NPCs. One of the biggest things is, okay, so this is going to sound really funny. One of the biggest things that I've highlighted is our Pip Boys now reflect that the year is 2103. Some things are huge, like updated new locations and having, which include Foundation, the home of the settlers, and the Crater, the home of the raiders. So like you can choose between two factions now, which I haven't played Fallout 76, so I don't know if that was a thing before. I played the Fallout 76 Battle Royale, which was not good.
It looked like shit.
It was so bad. It felt like it wanted to be PUBG, but also Fortnite, and the building didn't make sense. And
the building was so bad. I
hated it. Oh my God. It was so bad.
It's like Fallout's just inherently a janky game. Like they've always been really janky, but goddamn, like that looked like actual shit. I didn't play Fallout 76. I'm not like a huge Fallout guy in general. Like I feel like I should be. It's like right up my alley for the games that I do like to play, but I did play Fallout 3. I enjoyed that a fair amount, and then like 4 came out, and I got it, and I was like, I don't know, it's like it's kind of whatever. So when 76 came out, I was like, this isn't something that I'm gonna play, but
No.
I was definitely like intrigued by it. I watched from a distance as it like was on fire, and it was definitely like it was definitely like cool to keep up with like how they continually fuck their community over.
I know.
Like just like Bethesda, what are you doing? They just keep shooting themselves in the foot. So when they announced this update, I was like, okay, now they're just completely backtracking and just making this the game that people want, which I think that's commendable. Like they have to like save face a little bit, and I hope this update's good for the people that want to play it. It sounds like they're adding a lot of stuff that just make it an actual Fallout game if you want to play, and you can play it with people still, friends and such. So
yeah, so I thought that the idea of 76 could be cool, but I loved the story so much in the previous Fallouts that I was like, I don't think it's my game, and I'm really glad I didn't invest in it. So, okay, one of the biggest things they added to Wastelanders is that they're adding instances, which I guess they didn't have before. So if someone had gone through an area before and it didn't reset, you wouldn't be able to get anything.
oh wow.
So yeah, so one of the devs says before, when you'd go into these places, who knows what state it could have been in, people could have gone in and cleared out the entire dungeon. There could have been literally nothing left for you to do. That's kind of a hit or miss experience. Also, yeah, a little bit. But now you'll get an experience that's full of life and tailored to you going in, which I feel like is really important to a game like this, where, I mean, I get if it's like a, I don't know if you ever played Rust or DayZ, like that kind of makes sense, but those kind of reset over time, and it makes sense because they have separate servers. But in something like Fallout 76, where it's about the community and it's about interaction, I feel like they definitely missed the mark on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they like had this huge idea of what they wanted this game to be, and then just didn't commit to any one piece of that. Like they just tried to do too many things, and like none of them were good. So yeah, we'll see what happens. This comes out in like a few weeks, right?
Yeah.
This update? Yeah.
Oh God, wasn't Fallout 76 also what was it, a $99 yearly subscription or something?
Yeah, Fallout First, was it, right?
That's right, yeah.
Where they're like, hey, you guys, who's still playing this game? You guys want to pay us more money? We got a cool subscription for you. And like,
Yikes,
I don't know anyone who, well, there were people that bought it because they reported that they like fucked that up too. And I was like, what? They like had all their loot disappear. And supposedly you're supposed to have like private servers, and they found out that they weren't private. Like other people were able to get in their island or their area and like, you know, destroy it. And then people got back in their game, and they're like, wait, where did all of our shit go? And why is everything destroyed? So
it's terrible.
Yeah, like just so bad.
Yeah, Zen says people had items that got deleted with the infinite chest, which I feel like is a major bug. That shouldn't happen, especially if you're paying that much.
Yeah, I think they ended up returning that. They like issued a statement, and they're like, hey, your stuff looks like it's gone, but it's really there, but trust us. And like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's still, I mean, seeing that would make me very wary about entering the game.
Sure.
So I'd be like, if I'm going to put in months and months of work into like a settlement that I'm making, I don't want my stuff to disappear, because that's hours and hours of work gone. And it's just a game. Yes, but also I feel like this is pretty standard with any game that boasts that they can do stuff like this. Like they should allow for storage abilities and, just safety mechanics, but there's no save mechanic here, I guess. Also, in Wastelanders, one of the bigger updates that people were very excited about is that there are NPCs you can recruit now to your base. You can get to know them better through the main story quests and outside of it, and they'll come back to the camp with you and give you quests. And guess what? They're romanceable. Ooh. Which is pretty big, because that's been a pretty big standard of Fallout 4 or Fallout games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people definitely like to romance weird video game characters. So
I mean, I think Fallout 4, I romanced Hancock. So yes, I'm a big fan of romance abilities, but this is funny because it's like Fallout 76 started out with being so different from other Fallout games, and now it's slowly being turned into a Fallout game, like an
Yeah.
actual Fallout game. And
Yep,
it only,
it's just
only took
straight up
so
a game
long.
now.
Yeah.
I really would like to see this game succeed. I mean, obviously, I don't want to see any games fail. It is funny to see Bethesda just like shit on themselves, but like I understand like the Fallout brand is so coveted, and I don't want to see something like just fail for the sake of failing. So
Yeah.
I do hope that this is like their redemption story. So many other games have had those big redemption stories, like No Man's Sky, Destiny to an extent with Destiny 2 and like some of those updates. So I think it's definitely time for them to have like some good press. So
Yeah.
I hope this goes well.
I mean, this seems like a step in the right direction. I don't know if it's a big step or a little step, but it's definitely moving in the right direction. But I don't know. I think a lot of people are still disappointed in it. They're still wondering if it can be turned around. Like Tibble saying, No Man's Sky, definitely turned things around. They did really well. They pulled themselves up from the ground with the Steam reviews being at very negative to being mostly positive.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is
That
really
game's
hard
incredible.
to do. Yeah.
I had that game day one, and I was like all in on the hype, and I actually played a fair amount of it, probably like 20 to 25 hours when it was in like its really broken state, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was like a very like chill experience, and it's the same kind of experience that I had playing Death Stranding last year, where it was like super relaxing and just get lost in that world to an extent. So the fact that they've actually like turned that around and made it into like a really fun game, and there's a lot more of a gameplay loop now is awesome. And if you guys haven't checked out No Man's Sky by now, it's on sale fairly often. Definitely pick that up. It's a good game.
Okay. I really want to try the VR of it because it looks really silly, but also looks
Yeah.
actually really immersive.
Yeah.
So
I actually completely forgot that launched. I need to jump into that. My PSVR is just like sitting in a corner collecting dust, and I need to do something with it.
Also, another thing that they updated with Wastelanders is high level zones and low level zones will be gone. Enemies you encounter will be at your level and your friend's level, so you can play together like any MMO RPG.
That's awesome. I hope it's like Borderlands 3, what they did with how they scaled that. That was really well done.
Yeah, I was surprised they did that.
Yeah. Playing with friends, like I had a couple friends that ran through, and one of them joined late, so we were all high level, and we were able to run through the game and story with them at their level, and they had, the same experience as us. All the enemies scaled to the proper level on whoever's end they were playing, so everything just kind of felt seamless. Wow, that guy's missing a nose, by the way.
Hey, he's a ghoul. You don't make fun of him, all right?
All right. Hey.
Hancock was a ghoul, and I still loved him for who he was, okay?
Hey, that's fair. That's fair.
All right, Matt.
I was just a fan of the dog meat.
Oh, I know. But then he would set off all the traps and stuff, and,
Yeah, he was not a smart dog, but he was a good boy. He was
he's
so
a good
loyal.
boy, guess. I really liked how your companions, whenever they would get downed in the previous Fallout games, they would just like sit on the ground, just wait for you. Like, Mom, I tripped. Okay, so also Wastelanders, they had a Q&A session, I guess, and here's some of the questions that someone asked. The first one is really funny. Can we still launch nukes in Wastelanders? If so, what happens to settlements like Crater and Foundation? The answer was, you can definitely still launch nukes in Wastelanders. This isn't the Raiders or the Settlers' first rodeo either. They will jump into their own hazmat suits to protect themselves from radiation. So NPCs are going to put on their own hazmat suits. So you're just going to see them like walking around in these suits. I just thought that was really funny. Like that's one of the biggest highlights that they wanted to, advertise.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Hey, I mean, it makes sense. They probably don't want you to be able to destroy like the NPC portion of the world. So they're like, they have to have a fail-safe for them. Like, oh yeah, they'll just magically have these hazmat suits. But it's cool. It's very flavorful.
It just sounds really funny though, because it's like, hey, what's that sound? Oh, that's a nuke coming. Better get my hazmat suit on, and then they just sit there. Yeah. And Zen asks, wait, so we can nuke them and then just walk into town and trade stuff? I'm assuming probably. I mean, that's what it seems like. I think it's just that you can't destroy the whole settlement, which is good. So you guys can still have content.
That's a nice like middle ground, So you can still like troll other players, but like not ruin the game.
Yeah. Like the NPCs look down at a player who got nuked. You should have had your hazmat suit on. Okay. Someone else asked, is Wastelanders going to be strictly solo play or will team play be an option? And the answer was you can play through the new story content solo or as part of a team. If you're the team leader, your teammates can also choose to listen in as you have conversations with different NPCs during your quests, which is pretty cool because I don't know of many MMOs that do that. I know with Monster Hunter, if you have a cutscene, if the person has already seen the cutscene in your group, they just get thrown back to the main hub. So this is really cool because then you get to see what your friend decides to take, like the roads that he decides to take, the different conversation paths. So I think that's pretty nice. Is that worth me buying Fallout 76? Probably not, but I think that's cool for people who do own the game already.
Yeah, I think with anytime you do like cooperative story-driven games like this, it's always hard to like accommodate everybody at once, right? Because everybody's kind of doing their own thing, and it's cool that you have the option to jump in and kind of see like what your party leader is doing.
Yeah.
If you want to, and if you don't want to, then you can just continue doing what you're doing. But you're not like, yeah, like you mentioned with Monster Hunter, you're not just like forced back to a hub randomly when something's happening. So I think this is kind of a nice, option.
Yeah, absolutely. So you didn't buy 76, right?
No, I was so close when it was on sale. It was on sale for like $7 or something, and I was like, do I buy it just to have it?
$7?
Yeah, like
wow.
It might have been like 12, but it was definitely less than 20. And I was like, this is actually at a point where, because I thought, this game's clearly they're not gonna just drop it, right?
Yeah.
They have plans for it. They've got a lot of expectation to live back up to with the name. They're not gonna like just drop this game and move on and burn everybody that played it, right?
Yeah.
So I figured they're gonna pour some more content into this. They already had announced this Wastelanders update before it got delayed, so I knew that was on the horizon at some point. And I was like, do I buy this and just have it for when it does turn into a good game? But then I was like, I never play Fallout games, so I'll just wait.
Yeah. This dude's hand is super, like, it's really bulky. I get that he's wearing the glove, but the cigarette looks so small in it. I don't know if they're going to show it. Yeah, look at that!
Maybe he's like Shaq. Maybe he's like Shaq size. And
yeah,
that's like
maybe.
Oh yeah, that's a big glove.
That's really freaky.
Yeah. Did you see do you watch Hot Ones?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Did you see the episode with Shaq?
Yes, so good.
Like it was awesome, but when he holds chicken wings, they look so funny in his hand.
I know. I really like the gif that came out of it where he like smacks his lips and he goes, "Ooh." That's one of my favorite things now. It's so good.
That whole episode was just like memeable. That and the Paul Rudd one, like Paul Rudd. Did you?
Oh yeah. Look at that.
Like,
who would have thought? You know what I mean?
There's somebody like cut together an entire minute-long conversation where Paul Rudd talked to Paul Rudd.
I saw that. Oh my god, it's so good. I love that so much.
That is so God, if you're ever feeling down, you just put that on and it will immediately make you smile.
Okay, did you watch Parks and Rec?
I did, yeah. I didn't finish it, but I watched like 3.5, 4 seasons.
Okay, I was gonna say I feel like Paul Rudd in that is just like him. Like he's a little smarter, but I just feel like his character in there is just very like it just kind of shows who he is as a person, just very goofy.
Yeah. He seems like one of the nicest people in the world. Just IRL. Yeah.
He seems super genuine.
Yeah. I would like to shake his hand.
Yes. Look at us. Who would have thought?
Not me.
Mm-mm. All right. So enough of the Fallout stuff because, I know we're all very disappointed about that. But okay. So I think we have 2 more topics that we wanted to talk about. But Master of the Art says, my question is, how could you argue that Bethesda holds up we need to have a delay to ensure quality when New Vegas, the worst reviewed, but best had to fall in line with an 18-month deadline? Huh.
That's an interesting question. I know that they only published that one, right? That was actually in the hands of a different developer, Private Division, I believe.
Oh,
the
that's
guys
right.
That just did Outer Worlds. So maybe
that's right.
Yeah, maybe it has something to do with that.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't realize that. Outer
Yeah,
Worlds.
that's why. Yeah, that's why people are so hyped for Outer Worlds, because they're like, oh, this is made by the people who made the good Fallout game, the one that wasn't made by Bethesda Game Studios.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. People really out here starting fires.
Obsidian. Yeah, it was Obsidian, and did Private Division work on that too? I don't know.
I don't know. Master says they never got full pay because of how badly reviewed New Vegas was. Oof. Do you mean full price?
Sybil's
or
right. It was Obsidian.
It was Obsidian? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why I said Private Division. Who the hell's Private Division?
Maybe someone that you hoped did make the game?
I don't know. No, they worked on, they worked on Outer Worlds, but where they started from, I'm so confused now. I don't know.
It's okay. It's fine.
Who's to say?
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of other games that people have been big fans of, how about Black Mesa? Did you guys see the new trailer that came out for the newly updated Black Mesa game? Which is a Half-Life mod that brings Half-Life 1 into Half-Life 2. I actually remember my friend playing this when I was in college, and the original Black Mesa. And I was like, holy crap, this looks so cool. Like, I never played the Half-Life games, but this looks really cool. Watching my friend play through it because I was very spooked by the game.
Spoopy.
Yeah, they're the little, like, the aliens with the tongue things that hang down that are really gross, and then they'll eat you, and then there's like the head crabs, and I was like, nope, no thank you. And then at one point there were like these ninjas that would attack you. I was like, what the fuck is this game?
Oh, goddamn.
I was like, what is it? And you got a fucking dinky crowbar. I'm like, what is this? So they just released this trailer, I think 2 days ago. It was like 2 days ago. Yeah. And it's such a step above what they had before previously, which I believe was like, what? 7-10 years ago, something like that, when they made the first mod. And the thing is, this was entirely fan made. Like, it was a mod, and now it's become a game that is actually backed by the creators, like that by Valve. That's actually super cool.
Yeah.
So it was after 14 years in development. 14 years, dude.
Damn, what a commitment. I don't think I've committed to anything for that long in my entire life.
I know.
Jesus.
I'm pretty sure all of my hobbies have changed over 14 years.
Yeah, right? Like 14 years ago, I would have been, in high school. Like,
Yeah.
a totally different person, right? Holy shit. The fact that
Exactly.
they can stick with this is like such a different experience after, oh man.
Yeah, especially with game engines changing so much over the years. Like 14 years, a lot of stuff has happened for games.
Yeah.
So the fact that
yeah.
they've been able to stick with it and like change with everything that's happened, I think that's incredible. And it looks gorgeous.
It looks incredible.
I know
Yeah.
you can play it now, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know. I really want to try it. I think supporting them would be great because, you know, they're this independent team that basically did this for free just because they felt so passionate about this. And I think that's why I love indie games, because there's just so much passion behind it. And you can always tell by the way people talk about it. So,
Yeah, it's only $20 on Steam. Like, that seems like a great. How long is this portion of Half-Life?
I think it's pretty decent. Like,
Okay.
also I feel like it's pretty action packed because I mean you're like
Yeah.
you're like an engineer that has to go through and do all this shit because all of a
Yeah.
sudden no one else can do their jobs. I feel like that's any retail job ever, right? Like, hey, we need you to do this thing that's not your department, but you're really good at it, so go do it.
Yeah, that's been my life for like 8 years.
So this was a recreation of the original Half-Life in the Source engine. So this is all freaking Source.
That's sick.
Yeah. Started 14 years ago, and the team that made this is called the Crowbar Collective LLC, which is
love it.
great. You can tell that they're just super passionate about the Half-Life series, and that's so cool. I think I love that Valve was like, oh shit, you're doing something really cool with this title that we made. Go for it, we'll support you. And I feel like that sort of interaction is really hard to find. I know.
Yeah, especially for how big Valve is now. Like,
yeah.
They have such bigger fish to fry. The fact that they like recognize the dedication for this team and like they put their stamp of approval on it, right?
I know. I think that's so cool because I know Overwatch just recently, I mean, not recently, but semi-recently released their game mode where you can make your own individual games, stuff like that. And then Dreams is basically like a game changer for PS4 players. Like you can create any sort of game that you want, which is really cool. And then seeing stuff like this being supported by the actual devs, I think, I don't know, I feel like the world of gaming is changing and it's opening up doors for so many people, and I think that's so cool.
Oh yeah, especially with just like for Dreams that just came out finally on PlayStation. That's giving people the ability to like create full experiences, and not even games, but just actual experiences that you can go in and just like see, or not even walk around in, but just like that English breakfast that was going around on Twitter like last year, where somebody like made an entire plate of breakfast in Dreams, but it was like it was like so realistic. The lighting was incredible. Like, yeah, like people are just given the opportunity to do so many things now, right? Like RPG Maker that's been out forever, right? People make full games in there.
Yeah.
One of the developers that we talked to at PAX, like he built his first game in RPG Maker like 10 years ago. And now he's going to be releasing a game later this year that's like inspired by what he learned in that.
Yeah, I think that's so cool. I feel like I had something to say about that, but then I forgot, of course, but that's okay. So there's a statement from the Black Mesa team, Crowbar Collective, that kind of gives background into their history. They said in March 2006, two of my college classmates got into the Black Mesa mod team. I applied as an artist and they more or less vouched for me. The team, quote unquote, hired me without even completing an art test. From there, I became an art lead, a partner in the new Crowbar Collective LLC, project lead, and eventually owner of the company. Okay, let's see. Who would have blamed me if I quit? For the majority of its development, Black Mesa was a volunteer project. Even after we got the green light to sell the game, we still did not make any money until late June 2015. So they started 2006 and then didn't start to make money until 2015, but they still went with the project.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, I feel like that's really hard to find. Like, unless they have incredible support, I feel like most people nowadays wouldn't really do something like that. Like they wouldn't work for free, especially in this industry.
Yeah.
So they must have been incredibly passionate about this, and I'm so glad they stuck with it because now they can buy it on Steam. It's officially backed by devs and by Valve and Steam itself, which I think is incredible. I know 2000. That's like 9 years that they didn't get paid. Like they did this on their own.
Yeah, I would be actually. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys get picked up by Valve. Like maybe they'll bring them in internally just because they see like their passion, their dedication to this project, and like clearly there's going to be some more Half-Life stuff after Half-Life Alyx comes out.
Oh my god, yeah.
Maybe they'll pull them in for some more stuff.
I really hope so. That'd be so cool for them to join the actual Valve team, especially since Half-Life Alyx still shows that there is so much passion and interest in Half-Life, which is really interesting because it's been forever since that game has been out. But yet there's still interest, and I love that though.
Yeah, maybe just have these guys build Half-Life 3.
Yeah, there you go.
If not gonna do it, just give it to these guys. Like,
and all right, they'll just come out with another mod anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. So their quote, which is extremely like, you can just tell how passionate they are about this and how dedicated they are. Here's a paragraph. A statement. The fact is, all roads are long roads. If you fear that, you'll shy away from choosing the one that excites you the most and has the biggest reward. Not everyone is going to have reliable friends to pull them onto projects. Not everyone is going to have the opportunity to own a video game company. But if there is something you want to accomplish, there's nothing left to do but to do it. You cannot win the game if you don't play. Through luck, hard work, and maybe a bit of ignorance, we didn't shy away from our goal of bringing this game to completion. We are proud of what we built. We think this upcoming 1.0 release is the best, most polished, and most fun version of the game yet.
Well, damn, I want to try it.
I know. Honestly, I know that there are so many different things now, like Kickstarter, Patreon, God, what's the other one? GoFundMe, where like people pitch their games now. And I feel like if they had that when they were developing this, like the heart of this, they could have had so much support. And so any way that you guys can support this game, I think that I would probably vouch for it. I'm probably going to get it just because I'm really interested to see how it's changed from the original Half-Life and Black Mesa that I saw my friend play turn into this beautiful, update of graphics. Because it does look really good.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Already looks like it has good reviews on Steam.
Ooh, really?
Or this might be the original one.
Let me.
There's something that says it was from 2012, but I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, that's the one that my friend played.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So let me take a look at Steam too. Probably should have had it pulled up, but Tibble says he's totally getting it. I think it'll be really fun. Yeah.
It looks like it released yesterday. Cool.
I think it's just cool that they were like, oh no, after the first release wasn't good enough. Let's make another one. And I think it's really smart that they're releasing this right before Half-Life Alyx comes out. Because it's still keeping that hype going.
Yeah, this feels like a great game to play, like going into Alyx. Just to like get your Half-Life blood pumping a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, holy crap. 25,000 overwhelmingly positive reviews.
God damn.
That's incredible.
I'd say it's a hit. Sounds good.
Yeah. sounds like a massive hit.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay, so this is probably a good time to mention. I've never played the original Half-Life. Again, not having a PC in like the 2000s, I missed a lot of big games, right? Like I missed that. I missed Counter-Strike. I missed Team Fortress.
Oh,
like all of,
no.
Yeah. I missed that whole era. I was a console gamer for like my whole life until I built my first computer in 2012. And then I did actually, I own the games. Like I bought them with the intention to play. And then I did actually start Half-Life 1 like, I want to say maybe like 5 years ago. I played like the first hour or so, and then I was like not feeling it at the time and moved on. But I guess there's a lot of mods that are worth playing that kind of like modernize the game a bit. And apparently Half-Life 2 still holds up surprisingly well. So that's on my bucket list. But this might be kind of the way to go. Is this the full Half-Life 1, or is this just like a subsection of it?
So from what I understand and from what I remember my friend telling me when he played the 2012 one is that this is like a reimagining of Half-Life 1.
Gotcha.
Black Mesa is the facility and it's kind of the origin story for Gordon. As far as I know, for people who played the original Black Mesa mod, I think this is just a remake of that, like that original mod they made. But now it's its own game. So,
That is so cool.
I want to say it's the Half-Life 1 story because it is where you see Gordon first come into play. Like he gets a suit. He's supposed to like fix some stuff in the facility, and then everything goes haywire, of course.
Yeah.
So
that's like about how much I played. Like I got into the facility. I definitely was like hitting some aliens with the crowbar, but that's all I remember.
Yeah, so Venny's asking if it's an unofficial continuation or a side story. It is an actual like Valve supported remake of Half-Life 1 that ties into Half-Life 2. So yeah, I guess I know they changed the name to Black Mesa because that's the actual name of the facility, and I think they wanted to stand out from Half-Life 1 a little bit.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
Yeah.
It looks like it's 19 chapters, so that seems like it's going to be pretty lengthy.
That's right. Yeah. I remember. Oh my God, that brings back so many memories from watching my friend play. He's like, "Yeah, we're only on chapter 5," and I was like, "Oh God, what the hell is happening?" It's really cool though. I just love all the different aliens that they had in this too. Like, I just remember the creepy ones that sometimes if you the ones with the tongues hanging down, like if you put in like an explosive barrel and then they try to eat it, it would explode. But then sometimes like body parts would come out because they've eaten other people. And I was like, oh, that's gross, but that's really cool.
That's some good attention to detail.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited to play this. God, there's so many games right now.
There's
and I
too
know
many.
it's just going to keep coming out.
Yeah. This is probably the best time to play. Like, this seems like you could probably get through this in like a couple weeks. And then you got Animal Crossing and Doom, and then just the shit hits the fan for the rest of the year.
Yep, basically. Okay, so do you want to get into less fun news?
Less fun? What? What the hell are we doing here? I thought this was only fun news.
Yeah, right. I don't have exclusive B-roll for this because I also don't want to bring more attention to it. But
Yeah.
yeah, your camera's bigger than mine. What the hell?
Mine's a widescreen, or like 16 by 9, but
Yeah.
I crop it when I'm streaming because I don't like
I do
the fact
too.
that my
Yeah.
monitor room's right back there.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Okay, here, there you go.
That's just,
Hey
you just
guys, look
gotta-
at that. I fixed it.
Yes, thank you.
Very informal stream. I love this. This is fun though. I like it not being super structured. Oh, okay. So Tibble says, no, you are playing it. Okay, I'm going to play it, I guess. I'm definitely going to play this. Yeah, so I'll play Black Mesa maybe next week because I want to try so many different games. Oh, and then I love Apex so much. It's just so good to get back to.
I need to jump back in like ASAP.
Yeah. Okay, so here's some more serious, less fun news. I don't know if you guys heard. I know on my Discord, we kind of talked about it a little bit. There was a Twitch streamer who fired his gun while he was drunk on his desk, and it hit a thing of G Fuel, which is not really like the focus point.
That's the most gamer statement, though.
I know.
Just the fact that like he shot a loaded gun and it just like hit his canister of G Fuel.
Yeah, so it's really funny. I saw a bunch of quotes or like a bunch of people like retweeting it and saying this is the only thing you should do with G Fuel, and I was like, oh. that's a tough statement, but I think it's incredibly dangerous. So here's our own IGN article. Twitch streamer Carl Reimer accidentally fired a gun on a live stream and has been suspended from Twitch and removed from his esports team. So I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with Soar esports, but they do a lot of like stuff in like with their surrounding Twitch events, and I've definitely seen their names around. And there's so many different esports teams now; it's really hard to keep track of everyone.
Yeah.
Like I had no idea who this guy was until this clip surfaced and this news came out. So this guy, he was clearly inebriated and he racked his handgun twice because he thought that he was unloading it, right? Like he was emptying the chamber, thinking the magazine was empty. But because he had poor trigger finger discipline, he actually ended up like pulling the trigger and there was still a bullet in there. And the thing is, like, you need to treat every gun, even if you know you double checked, you triple checked that like all the bullets are out, you still have to treat each gun like it's loaded no matter what. Because these things are not toys. These aren't like, it's not like in the movie where, oh yeah, I'll recover from a gunshot wound, or like it's not that bad. These things are fucking like death machines, dude.
100%. Like he mentioned in there that it ricocheted off something and like ended up breaking his monitor, but holy shit, like that could have ricocheted into him live on Twitch. Like that's fucked, dude. Yeah, and, they definitely made the right call to like pull him and to Twitch banning him or suspending him or whatever they ended up doing.
So this direct quote is, even if I had the gun for 2 years, you can still do something stupid like that. It went through a cup, bounced off the cup, and broke my $1,000 fucking monitor. And it sounds like he's upset about that. I'm like, yeah, I get that it's expensive, but it's, hey, listen, you could have scarred however many people were watching you on stream that day. There could have been kids watching you. Like, you have to,
kids,
like you have to understand that this sort of behavior, like, okay, even if you're a small streamer in Twitch, I feel like your behavior should still, like, you should still control it to, you know, understanding that there is an audience that watches you. You are responsible for how you display yourself and how you display like behavior that is okay. This is definitely not okay. And there are definitely impressionable kids who probably think, oh, that was so funny. And the amount of people on Twitter who were actually supporting him, they were like, oh, well, why did he get removed from his esports team? He was just drunk. I'm like, he was just drunk. He could have killed someone who was next door. If he was living with someone, he could have killed them.
Yeah,
like,
that could have been very bad.
Oh my
like
God.
I think he got off pretty easy with a broken monitor and some spilled G Fuel.
Yeah. No use crying over spilled G Fuel.
You know, with the old adage. You know,
oh God. But like, I don't know. I love how quickly everyone responded to this, though. There's Twitch community guidelines rule that he broke a zero tolerance violation that comes with brandishing lethal or harmful weapons. Like, why did he even have the gun in the first place? Like, even if he was
off, man, like
yeah,
the way, like clearly he was trying to like be a badass on stream. I mean, like if you saw the clip, like he was showing off and he was trying to like, I don't know if he's trying to be funny or if he was actually trying to show off. But,
I don't know.
Like, it was a bad look for him for sure. And like,
yeah,
he got the correct discipline for that. And I mean, realistically, he got off pretty easy for what could have happened.
yeah. So the guy actually, Reimer, he thanked Soar Gaming in his video and agreed they did the right thing with removing him. And I'm like, cool. He already released an apology video, which at this point, it's so funny that this culture of doing something wrong and then making a video about it, like apologizing. And I understand that it's better than staying quiet, but it's just, I feel like it's really funny to me because like growing up, we didn't have something like this, right? Where you could just come out with a video and then I feel like a lot of people use these videos as like, okay, I apologize for it. I'm done. Like, I'm good.
Right.
Now I'm forgiven, right? I said sorry. I did the right thing. And people don't learn from it. I really hope he learns because this is just incredibly dangerous.
Yeah. I have a feeling he's probably not going to learn. This just seems like he like if you're that kind of character, I don't think you're just going to change overnight. Who knows? Maybe he will.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way that he was like talking on stream with the gun, it just seemed like I don't know. Somebody mentioned in the chat that what did they say? I missed it already. Damn it. But they basically said like that he was threatening somebody in the video, or they got the impression
really?
he was threatening somebody.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
which,
That's
if
even
that's
worse.
Actually the case, like that's fucked. That's very serious. Yeah.
We already have cases of people getting frustrated on the road and having road rage and actually shooting other people. We don't need extra forms of saying, hey, this is cool to do. If you're angry, you can definitely threaten people with a gun, a lethal weapon. Like, it frustrated me seeing that. I was like, this is such a bad example of how to be just in general as a person.
Yeah.
Because there are actually people who live their lives thinking that it's okay to behave this way all the time. Is there a puppy?
Yeah, she's grown. Come here. Come on. Come on. You say hi? Come on. There she is.
There's a puppy, guys.
This
Oh!
is Lydia.
Oh, hi,
This is
Lydia. Aw.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Is she
gives
your number
kisses.
one girl?
Oh yeah. Always.
Aw, so cute. So Lydia, what are your thoughts on the suspension? I want to know your thoughts.
She's just gonna lick.
Yeah, she says whatever
She's like-
whatever he's got, I'm going for it.
Yeah. Well, what did the guy said that he had pets, right?
Yeah. Oh, wow, Lydia, thank you so much for bringing
Yeah.
that point up. Yeah, he said, it's a stupid mistake that could have cost somebody their life. I could have went to the hospital. I could have hurt one of my animals. What the fuck?
I would have been fucking devastated. Like, obviously I would never do this shit anyway, but like, could you imagine, like, you've got a pet, right? That's like your livelihood right there. Like, imagine
Yeah.
being a dipshit on stream, drunk and like accidentally firing your gun and having something horrible like that happen. Like, I can't even think about it.
Aww.
make me too sad.
Aw. And Lydia's like, no, I'm right here. Don't worry about it. She's like,
She
it's
give-
okay.
She give the kisses.
Aw. Yeah,
She
I
give the
can't.
big kitty kisses.
I can't imagine. It's just, you would think that with someone who has animals and who is hopefully a compassionate person would think about these things before doing something that could endanger other people around him. But I don't know him. I don't know his background. So unfortunately, I can't say anything about it. But I just feel like it's very standard to think things through. And I understand that he was drunk, but that shouldn't excuse his behavior. Because if
No.
he's drunk, he should put his... First of all, the gun should be in a safe place. Like, do you
Yeah.
know how many accidental firings happen?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Don't have that out. Irresponsible dude, for sure. I think he got off very easy.
No, absolutely, because
Like-
he like police could have gotten involved.
Yeah.
I mean, that was still a gunshot. Like, what if someone reported that? I don't know. Simple says better a video once sobered up than acting like nothing happened. Yes, but is he going to use that video as like, okay, well, I said something, I'm good, I'm done, I should be forgiven? Like, I want him to have more consequences because I want him and other people to know that this is really not okay, that like showing guns on stream like this could be potentially dangerous in terms of like enabling other people. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think like Twitch has a zero tolerance policy for a reason. Like you mentioned, kids watch people stream all the time, right? Like you're out there streaming, even if you're a small streamer, like you are broadcasting yourself live for the world, and you need to set an example. And like bringing weapons on stream are like, that's the last thing you should be doing.
Yeah. Like even if you feel like you're a small streamer, people still watch you, and you are still holding yourself accountable. And I think that's really important. A lot of people forget that. They're just like, oh, it's the internet, like getting clout or whatever. And it's just like, it's not worth it, man. Like your words have weight. No matter how small you think you are, your words always have weight. And I need you, like, I need people to understand that. And it's just,
things can go viral like at a moment's notice too. So
yeah,
if you make one wrong move, that's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, it's like if he apologizes and maybe does something to prove that he is going to change for the better. I don't know. Like, I personally can't give examples right now because I have no idea what he would do that would make it feel better. I don't know. Maybe donating to, oh my God, Everytown, which advocates for gun safety and gun, anti-gun rights. Wait, sorry. No, hold on. I got that wrong. Let me just look it up. Gun safety. It's gun safety. It's a nonprofit organization that he could donate to them like a considerable amount to show that he does care about, about the safety, like proper safety. And then he understands that gun violence is a problem. I feel like something like that would show, like, actions speak pretty loudly, right? And I understand people can still say stuff like that people can still donate and still be absolutely shitty people. But hey, at least their money went to a good place.
Yeah. Like he already took his punishment, and like releasing a sorry video isn't that's not going to get you off the hook. But yeah, no. I think that would show that, like, hey, I'm an adult. I understand I made a mistake. Like, I want to prove that I'm a responsible human being, and like I do care about the safety of others and myself, and like, here, have some money.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than nothing, but yeah, I guess we just need to hold him accountable. Hopefully he does change and he does understand what exactly he did.
I hope so, man, because that's scary. That could have been bad. It
could have been really bad. Okay, so we're kind of coming up. I'm surprised an hour went by so quickly.
Yeah, we had some meaty topics there.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw in one that I just saw, and do you know who Marnie is?
Marnie?
Marnie the doggo.
No.
He died today.
What? I have to look this up.
He's the one. I believe he had some sort of. I think.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
The one with the tongue.
I know.
Oh.
But he ended up passing away today, which, I mean, it's okay. He lived a very good life. I think the owner said that
18.
he lived a lot longer than they expected because he had some birth defects. If you guys want to know who Marnie is, let me pull this up. Oh, that's loud. It's this guy. Do you guys remember this guy? Look at how silly.
Oh my gosh, that face. That face.
Oh. Yeah, I just remember, like, he was always lopsided, like his head always tilted to the side. But this clip right here just
it's just flying.
Yeah.
Flying.
But yeah, it's always so interesting when internet famous animals pass away, like oh my God, Grumpy Cat passed away.
Cat, yeah.
And oh God, Grumpy Cat got to meet Stan Lee too, which is kind of crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
I know.
What? And now we can never meet either of them.
I
Oh my
know.
gosh.
I think someone drew a comic of them both hanging out, and it was just,
Oh,
it
that's
was,
great.
oh, it made me, it's so many feels, man.
I love this. This is adorable.
Oh yeah, the other, there was another dog. He was a very fluffy one, and I remember him passing away. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because Marnie had always brought up so much positivity in my feed whenever I saw him. And I'm very sad this timeline is the worst timeline.
Oh no.
It is.
I hope Barney gets all the bones.
I know. In Doggo Heaven.
Doggo heaven.
Do you remember that movie, All Dogs Go to Heaven?
I sure do.
It's very weird.
That's a great movie.
It was
I don't know
really
what you're
good.
talking about.
It's really good, but I watched it when I was a kid and I was like, what the hell is going on?
Didn't they make a sequel? I feel like there's a sequel.
Did they? What?
All
I didn't know
Dogs Go
about
to
this.
Heaven 2? Yep, All Dogs Go
They
to Heaven
did?
2.
Oh.
Yeah, they sure did.
Okay, well, I didn't know about that.
I don't know if I saw the sequel, but definitely
Yeah.
the original. One of the best animal movies of all time. Go.
Oh, best Marley and Me.
I never saw that.
What?
I heard it was a
Are you
tearjerker, and I was
serious?
like, I don't need this
Are
right
you
now.
serious? Every time, I don't care how many times I've watched it, I cry every fucking time.
Oh, I
You
don't know if I
have
can do
to
it.
watch it.
Oh gosh.
Oh my God.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Tibble says Hachi was good. I haven't seen that, but I've heard of it.
I haven't even heard of it. What's Hachi?
Actually, if you bring this up, I think, oh no, this is not. No, this is a different one. There's a particular dog story that if you bring it up with my boss, he loses his mind and says that it was a different dog and that original dog that got famous took the other dog's credit. And I was like, oh, okay. I got to get him on here so that you guys can hear him, but he goes off about it.
Oh my gosh.
Simple asks, does Watership Down count?
If you guys haven't mentioned Homeward Bound already, I can't even be here. That's the best animal movie.
Is it really?
Yeah, do you not remember that? Homeward Bound? With the dog and the other dog and the cat. They go like across country.
Yeah.
And then they had one in San Francisco.
Oh my God.
Homeward Bound.
This movie came out when I was born.
Yes, this movie's so
Oh,
good.
wow.
I watched this when I was a kid and I loved it.
Wow.
Chance, Shadow, and Sassy. Those were the animals.
Oh, of course.
And then they did the sequel where they went to San Francisco.
That's so cute. TVG says, does Kung Fu Panda count? I mean,
sure.
I guess. Like, you're not wrong. Right now, I'm just thinking of that meme where the guy is like angry and he just throws his hands up in the air and goes, I guess. Second question Google gives Simple is how many animals died in the making of Homeward Bound? What?
No. What?
No. How dare you? How dare you?
I don't think any animals were harmed in the making of Homeward Bound, but 27 animals were said to have perished from dehydration, exhaustion, or drowning
Are you
on a New
serious?
Zealand farm. What? And an elderly giraffe died. What the fuck, man? What?
Oh my God.
Oh,
We were ending on such a wholesome note.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
This is now the worst timeline. Sorry.
I can't believe this.
Yeah, we can't end on that.
No.
That's too sad.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
Jesus.
Although I think I'm going to end all these podcasts with asking the guest what their favorite animal movie is now.
Hell yeah. I love these answers. These are great.
I know. But seriously, what have you done, Simple? How dare you?
Simple. Oh man.
God.
You've somehow tarnished my childhood now.
Glad to serve. Oh, maybe I should ask everyone to send me in
Milo
there.
and Otis, yes.
Milo and Otis.
I gotta look that one up again.
See, now
That one-
I'm gathering
oh, yeah.
this list of movies to watch. Airbud.
Milo and Otis is an
Oh!
old one. I remember those guys.
Oh yeah, Lady and the Tramp. Bolt. I actually liked Bolt. It was one of those movies that I felt like didn't get enough attention from Disney.
That was like Disney figuring out 3D animation when Pixar was like carrying it for them.
Yeah.
Like they had a run of like kind of shit movies. Like what was the one with Miley Cyrus?
That was the one that's Bolt.
That's Bolt. Okay. That one was shitty. There was like Chicken Little. Like no one watched that. Well, fuck, that was the one.
Oh.
Jeez. Yeah, they had a Disney like they had a really bad run in like the early
They
to
did.
mid-2000s.
They did. Yeah.
Like until they like decided to use Pixar and like take their technology and like make their own movies. Yeah, they were in a rough spot. Pixar carried them for like
Oh
a
no,
good decade.
absolutely. I don't know what that movie is, Mandalorian. Mandalorian also says White Fang is his favorite. Tibble says, okay, unfollow the Waddler.
Don't unfollow the Waddler. TBG says Lion King. That's fair. That's a
No,
lot of
that definitely counts.
That's like an easy one though. Like I want some like niche animal movies, you know?
Yeah, Vinny also says Jungle Book, which absolutely was one of my favorites growing up. The snake part always weirded me out. I was like, oh, the snake's making his body into staircases for him to walk down. I'm like, what is happening?
It's a cartoon.
Zen says Land Before Time.
Okay, Land Before Time was
Yeah,
good.
no, that's it.
They made too many movies though. Like,
Motherfucking tree stars. Yeah, they did make a lot of movies, but they were all really good.
They were good. I think I watched like the first like 3 and then I was like, I'm good. Recent one though, Zootopia. That was very good.
It was, but I really didn't like what the fandom turned it into.
Oh, I was just gonna bring that up because I just found out about that and I'm fucking terrified now. Like, why does the internet have to ruin all good things? Can't we just have one thing, internet?
I know. There was one comic strip that a fan made, and it looked great. It looked like it was official fan art, like official art. But then it went off into something else, and I was like, no. The internet does ruin everything.
They really do.
Yeah.
Like you can't cherish anything if you bring it up online because someone out there will just shit on it. And they'll turn it into something sexual that you didn't want.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Finding Nemo.
Oh yeah. I feel like there's just a run of Disney movies that we could probably list off.
I know. We gotta save some for the next one.
That's true.
Oh my God, Balto's the one that my boss will go off on a rant about. Balto is the one. Because he said Balto only ran like a little portion of it, and there was a different dog that ran the full like 80% of it. That is the one that my boss...
That's like a stunt double.
Yeah, my boss, he gets so upset whenever he... I don't even remember what we were doing, but someone had brought that story up because I think they were talking about like a statue Balto had. And I saw my boss stand up and he goes, Balto was not a good boy.
Oh no. What?
Like he was...
How can you even say
I
that?
know. He was an okay boy, but he was not the good boy because the other dog just didn't get enough attention because I guess he had like a longer name or something. But I remember he got so upset. I need to like record him ranting because it's so funny.
I would love to see this. Also, apparently Balto's a true story. I didn't know that.
It is a true story, but Balto was only one of... Oh, it was Togo. Togo's the dog that he says ran most of it. So, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let me... Okay.
We need the Balto lore now.
Togo ran 300 miles to get this serum for these for like sick people from one village to the other. He ran 300 miles, and Balto ran 31 miles. So that's why Destin got very upset that Balto got the recognition because Togo ran 300.
Well, Togo got a sandwich shop named after him, so I'd say his legacy lived on.
You're terrible. Yeah, it was about, it was in 1925. It was a serum run across central and northern Alaska. So yeah.
Oh, Togo was the lead sled dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Balto
so
just stole all the fame.
Yeah, so people were like, why did Togo get shafted from this
did get
recognition.
shafted.
Yeah. So anyways, if you meet Destin in real life, just ask
shit.
him about it.
There's a fucking movie that just came out on Disney Plus that's about Togo.
Yay!
With Willem Dafoe.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my
it's a
God.
fucking true story.
That's amazing.
It's called Togo, the untold true story.
Good.
Right.
Thank
Disney
God.
coming through and giving Togo the recognition he deserves.
Seriously, that's so good. Aww.
All right. Now I have some context because I saw that movie and I was like, oh, that looks okay, whatever. But now that I know what the context is.
Yeah, that Balto
holy
stole the
shit.
glory, dude.
Damn, I wanna know what happened to these dogs.
I know. That's really funny. It's like the what is it? Oh yeah, this is a group effort. Just puts your name down on it. Yeah, anyways, just mention that to Destin and he will always get upset. Like he will get
that's good to
so
know.
upset. It's so good. It's so good. I'm gonna have to like record that, I think. Just be like, hey Destin, how do you feel about Balto? And just see his
tell me about
reaction.
Balto.
Yeah.
Are you Team Balto or Team Togo?
Yeah.
Destin, we need to know.
It's so good. Oh my God. All right. Well, I think I am going to wrap up our session. Thank you so much for being here and being the guest on the first episode.
Oh yeah, thank you so much for having me. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Stellar Fusion, which is like I feel like it's kind of a cheesy name, but I mean, I talk about everything, so I like it. I feel like it works.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah. If you guys haven't already, please follow Matt. Do you go by Matt or Matthew?
I go by Matt.
Okay. So that's his Twitter. Unless you didn't want me to shout that out in case you have weird stuff on it.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, he's the one who made the Zootopia stuff. No, just kidding.
No, fuck. Don't put me on blast like that.
But yeah, he's great. You should really stream more too, so that we could do games and stuff together.
Yeah, I'm down.
It should be fun.
I'm like actually trying to get like that back up now.
Yeah.
Now that I feel like I've kind of gotten like a good mental break, and I feel like I'm in a much better place than I was last year. So I'm yeah.
Yeah, do it.
I just need to hop on like Apex on PC and get adept at that, because I definitely played it a couple of rounds and I was like, this definitely moves a lot different than the PS4 one.
Oh yeah, I just saw Lydia go nuts in the background.
Oh yeah, she's doing something. I think she got a bone or something.
Aw. Yeah, well, you guys follow him. He also does freelance writing for IGN, so you'll see his articles. Let me actually get your Ghostrunner. Let me get your Ghostrunner thing.
Oh
article
yeah.
up. Yeah, so you guys can see it. Tibble says, yes, come Apex with us. Yeah. So it's cool, because that video is mine and the article is his, and it's great.
It was a collab effort, guys. It was great.
There's a Cyberpunk XCOM game. I did not know that.
What? Isn't that just XCOM?
Matt also likes to get cheeky.
You know.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you guys liked this. If you guys liked it, let us know, because then maybe I'll do this again every weekend, because I feel like that's when I have the most time to really sit down. Also, I feel like it's really nice to review the week, like a week in content, which I feel like is really fun. There you go. Yeah, this is the first 5 minutes of Ghostrunner. But yeah, let me know if you guys want me to do this, because then we can do this every weekend. Maybe Matt can come on more and then get his stream time in.
I'm down.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye, Lydia.
Oh yeah, she's coming and going.
Yeah, she's... All right, well, I will hang up here. Thank you so much.
Cool. Bye, guys.
Bye, doggo. I know, so cute. More podcasts. Yay, I'm glad you liked it. I feel like this was such a good week.